Welcome, comic lovers. Garvin, the old comic guy, coming at you with another interesting comic. So, most of you probably know what this is. All-Star Comics number 58. It is the Super Squad, written by Gerry Conway. Rick Estrada was the penciler, and Wally Wood was the editor. This is the first appearance of Power Girl, and also the first cover appearance. It also creates the Super Squad, which is often considered these younger heroes, Robin, Star Spangled Kid, and Power Girl, with the rest of the Justice Society of America. So there's a lot of interesting things about this. One, this was 1976. All-Star Comics had ended with issue 57 in 1950, 51. It had changed to All-Star Western, ran up to about 119, and that was in 61. Yeah, early 61. And so this in early 1976, and you'll notice that the banner here is not the bicentennial banner, which will start happening in later issues, but DC did put a bicentennial banner across the top. DC has notoriously used the floating heads, and they're still here. I do love the floating heads. I think they're amazing. What else was going on? So let's go back. 76. What's going on? Let's see. 76. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Not out yet. Technically, that comes out in February. Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night is the #1 movie. What is the music that's out? Bohemian Rhapsody had kicked off Mamma Mia in the UK charts. In America, who's at the top? Let's see. Who's at the top? I Write the Songs, Barry Manilow, in the top 10. What else? The Bay City Rollers, Saturday Night, is out. Bay City Rollers are one of those, obviously from Bay City, Michigan. There's another band from Bay City. I can't think of it right now. What else? Convoy by C.W. McCall is up there, top 10. So lots of things going on out in, with everyone else, right? We remember. Some of us remember, some of us may not. And clearly the memory is going. Anyway, so this is one of the things that's kind of cool about this that I like. I love the advertisements. And on the back is a nice ideal, Evel Knievel, which is just amazing. But inside, and I'm not going to go through page by page. I don't even know if that's legal. I don't know. Anyway, we have the Justice Society, and again, Gerry Conway, Rick Estrada, Wally Wood, and just showing you that front page cover. And there's a nice Daisy BB gun. Is this the Red Ryder? It is not the Red Ryder, but it is the 99 and the 1894 BB gun, because those were kids' toys. I mean, I had one, so I assume everybody, and you were only allowed to pump it once if you were shooting at your friends or your family. Usually a brother. I mean, don't shoot your sister. You get in trouble for that. The Shrunken Heads ad, I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if anybody had any of those. I never had a shrunken head. That's just, but kind of cool. And then we have Vincent Price, right? That's who's advertising the Shrunken Heads, appropriately so. You have Power Girl appear, and she is the main villain of this is Brainwave. And this is in the weird costume, not the bald-headed guy, but the giant head, giant eyes. He looked like he had giant eyes. We have $6 Million Man action figure. This is barely an action figure. These were dolls, though they were much cooler than like Barbie. We have Star Spangled Kid dealing with being a man out of time, young man out of time, right? Like he was not genuinely should be living in the 50s. And he got pulled out in JLA, Justice League of America. That crossover with the Seven Soldiers of Victory, I think, was 102. This is the Brainwave costume that I'm talking about, where his eyes were kind of buggy. This actually is a image he's presenting or forcing through. What else? Oh, a cool part of this, one of the things that I think is cool, this is the comment section, and there's 2 letters, and you're going, well, wait, the previous issue was 26 years ago, right? And it was 26 years ago, so why would there be a letters column? Well, Jerry Conway got 2 fans who at the time were doing the All-Star Comics Review, which was a fanzine. It was one of the early fanzines. And it's Jerry Bales, who was the editor on that and was highly involved in it. And another fan that he knew personally from working with him at Marvel is Roy Thomas. So he asked them, and they wrote letters in. So there are only 2 letters, and they are from Roy Thomas and Jerry Bales, which I think is really, really cool. And it says, and it even says in here, so this is the letters column. There's only the 2 letters, and of course Jerry's answering them. But what I think is cool is that it says these longtime supporters of the All-Stars got advanced copies to comment on so that we could get their letters into print in this issue. But now that you've got your copies, we're waiting for your comments, and it gives the address and stuff to send it off for the next issue, which I think's amazing. They even have a nice ad for All-Star Comics, which kind of cool. This ad was their regular ad, and then of course the Blackhawk, which is a great, book also. I actually, of course, have that issue somewhere. I think it's just pretty cool that they were in there. That was their regular advertisement. So if you got for this month, right, like for these books, so you could see it in another book. They had lots of cool stuff. They had these were all treasury size first editions. So you can see them. I have a few of these. Which I think are pretty cool. These were all the bigger ones. And then there's also the Christmas special, which were the 2 Christmas specials that they were advertising. And it's kind of weird because this is January. This came out January, February. But they were advertising the Christmas stuff. And I think, if I recall right, that's because this came out like when it actually... The date on it, right, is February. On the cover, it's February. Inside, on the indicia, it says January, February. But that means it was probably out in late 75, right? So they were advertising the Christmas stuff for that. They had nice Matchbox Super 6s, which are pretty cool. The story basically is introducing Star Spangled Kid into the Justice Society. It was also introducing Robin, the Dick Grayson of Earth 2, another cool ad. Big Jim's Pack. I don't know who got to play with those other than me. These are dolls. We called them action figures, but they weren't like the small action figures we have now. They were basically the same size as Barbie. And there's a few other ads that are kind of standard. In this, it's implied that Batman is not active and or gone. So I thought that was pretty, they kind of leave it where you don't know if he's just not active or whether he's passed on. At this point, I think, I'm trying to remember story-wise, they don't specifically say, and it's maybe implied that he's just not around right now, that it's just Dick out doing stuff. They also are advertising the Super DC convention. Yep, DC Comics had its own comic convention, and it was on February 27th, 28th, and 29th. In 1976 in New York. So that's pretty cool. I love that. They also advertised DC's own fanzine. Marvel had a fanzine. DC had its own fanzine. DC's fanzine was The Amazing World of DC Comics. Number 8 is about Carmine Infantino, which amazing creator. We have the introduction of Power Girl. She is basically Supergirl, right? She comes out after Supergirl. They go through that process. She has figured out who the main villain is, and they go up against Brainwave. So a lot of fun, a lot of pretty cool stuff. And this is just a very fun book. 1976, we're bringing the Justice Society back. Loads of fun and interesting things. All right. You guys take care of each other.